Thank you for coming. You are the second wave of people here for Seniors and People with Disabilities Day at the Capitol, and we are so delighted at the turnout we are having this year. It's really outstanding, and it's important for our legislators to see that people care. You all are certainly representing yourselves and your population, but I think another significant part is you're representing the thousands of people who can't Salem. They couldn't come here today because they're homebound. They're in a facility, they're in a community-based care setting, but being able to travel to Salem and visit with legislators is not something they can do. And so you speak for those people.
I want to first of all thank you for being here, because your advocacy is absolutely critical to point out to everyone in this building how important the services that serve seniors and people with disabilities are in our state. You are all well aware of the gap in our budget that we're trying to address. It is serious, it is deep, and things will be cut.
There's only 8 weeks left in this session. This is the critical time. There is no time left for legislators or the staffs. We have to get a budget, and we have to make decisions no later than the last day of June. On May 15th, we will get our final economic forecast to see exactly where we're at. We cannot just cut our way out of this thing, and we cannot just tax our way out. We're going to have some more taxes.
You need to tell your neighbors, because we're going to be coming back to the Oregon public and talking about revenue. We're going to be talking about cuts, but we're also going to be talking about revenue, and you need to be telling folks why we need temporary new revenue to meet our budget needs.
And we were talking about how much you've interwoven everything. You know, you get part of a dollar over here and you make it work over there, and consequently we've got a pretty strong system, but everything is so interconnected that the fear is you start picking at a thread and it starts to unravel, that the whole thing's gonna fall apart. So I think that message and any way that you can use to illustrate that would be really helpful to me. Just the breadth and the scope of what OPI is. But we have to accept the reality that we are not going to accomplish everything in the great scheme of planning and what swell stuff we could be doing with the realities of this legislative session.
My name is Derek Bradley, and I am Representative Nolan's legislative assistant. And I'm here to listen to what you all have to say to your state representative.
We want support for OPI, and we want funding for OPI. And we feel that there is a looming disaster if OPI is dropped. This is not a thing that is given away as charity. This is a means-tested program. Even if it's not called that, it's based on income level. And it is imperative that people save the taxpayer money by keeping them, making it possible for them to stay in their homes, remain independent, have the dignity that the government has promised them in their old age, keep their pets, and keep their emotional lives intact.
The OPI funds crucial services for about 3,600 seniors. It enables them to avoid going into nursing homes, which will take years off their lives, or, frankly, winding up in the morgue.
We talk about their physical, what they get physically with the help, but they also get a case manager, and the case manager can make a great deal of difference when people's conditions change and might not otherwise be noticed.
This week, senior district centers in Multnomah County and throughout Oregon will be sending letters to OPI clients that their services may very well likely stop July 1. We're also sending letters to in-home service workers that their jobs may be lost July 1. So not only are we looking at the loss of independence and security for 1,100 seniors in Multnomah County alone, but we're looking at jobs lost for both in-home service workers and district center staff.
With the shortfalls in money and revenue, we have got to do things in order to stretch the dollar as far as possible that are preventative, proactive. It is asinine to do anything that is going to be just throwing money down the hole.
it's true that OPI does not have a federal match, and because of that, it's often in jeopardy. There's a tremendous amount of match that comes from the community and from nonprofits, and it's all part of a network of care throughout the state of Oregon. And when you take away one of the funding, sources, the state, the whole network crumbles. So there's that interconnectivity between all of the services and service providers in serving the seniors, and so we need to work together to keep programs intact.
Friendly House is a smaller district center, and we have about 22 clients right now who are receiving OPI services. We estimate that of those 22 clients, 17 of them within 6 months of termination of this program will be homeless as a result of eviction or have had to move to a higher level of care. So we're talking about them either in the streets, in nursing homes and assisted livings where they don't belong, or in the morgue, as Steve said earlier.
I just wanted to say that we already have a waiting list throughout all the district centers, and I represent one of the district centers for OPI. And this is for very vulnerable population that there are no safety net services out there for them. They're not eligible for Medicaid services. There is no place else to be able to send them to receive those services. So even at the current funding, it is not meeting the need of our people.